Good morning. I would like to call the Executive Governance Committee to order. This is the only committee that is named by statute, not by the chairman. It's the chairman, vice chairman, and head of audit. Correct?
Correct.
I think before we go any further, we need to introduce Michael Wade. He's our new trustee, graduate, has children, has a home here, lives in St. Louis, on and on and on. A good, great addition. I think it's kind of awkward, frankly, that the state doesn't announce you or we don't announce you. I mean, after saying that, you have to be, I do too, we have to be approved by the legislature. But anyway, this is our formal announcement, if there is such a thing. But welcome, and
Thank you.
we've had lunch, and Michael knows that he's welcome to be on every committee that he wants to be, with the exception of this committee, and this one is named by statute. So everybody is happy to participate. But welcome.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate
Would
that.
you like to say anything?
Other than thank you all, it's an honor and a privilege to two words came to mind, and that's support and partnership. So when I had the opportunity to be asked, gladly accepted and looking forward to working together with everyone. Thank you.
Thanks for agreeing to serve. So Tom, it's you and I and Chris on this. Do we have we better get a roll call, James.
Trustee Boyd,
Present.
Vice Chair Vanek,
Present.
Chair Smith.
Present.
We have a quorum.
The approval of the minutes. Have you had a chance to review, and are there any corrections, changes, additions?
Move to accept the minutes as printed.
Motion's made.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are accepted. And for a moment, Mr. President, I've lost my,
Right here.
thank you, sir. Got it. Everyone should have gotten a copy of the self-evaluation. Happy to discuss it at any length, not at any length, but happy to discuss in any way. I read it, President's read it. It appears to me that every question was answered either good or real good. I'm adding words, but we're either excellent or good. There's several good comments. I noticed the first chairperson asked for discussion a lot, and I'll be asking for discussion to make sure that Robert's Rules of Order are perfect. That's not my long suit. Does anybody have any comments or questions on this? I don't see any use to going over 7 to 1, 8 to 3, or this, that, and the other. Does anybody have comments or questions? Chris?
I think the comments speak for themselves. I think overall, I think the board tends to be very frank and open about their perceptions. I think if you go through the comments, you'll see that I think one of the things that came out as an action item was more board training, more board sort of keeping up with trends, hearing perhaps from the president about things that he's seeing in sort of the educational community, and what do we need to be thinking about, and where are the risks that he perceives to the continuing success of the university, I think would be a great opportunity. And I know that we had a great meeting earlier this summer. Thank you very much for hosting that, Chairman Smith. To have those kinds of conversations, I think there's a great appetite to have those continue, and appreciate that kind of broader view that takes us not just looking at MTSU, but kind of looking at the environment in which we operate and what are the challenges and, more importantly, what are the opportunities for us. So appreciate and I think that comes out in the commentary as well. So, but the training and views and basically the camaraderie, I think, came out in these comments and also in the assessment as well.
More comments or questions?
Steve,
Yes, sir.
a lot of good objectives, I think, are listed in there. I didn't count the number, I don't know how many, but there's a lot. And it seems like any organization, it's hard to focus on 15, 20, whatever it is, objectives. Does it make any sense that we ask, I'm not sure who, some staff person to develop a little survey for us to rank the objectives so that we can kind of focus our attention on the top 3, 5, whatever the
I think that's
number might be?
I can do
Good
that.
idea, and we'll ask the president.
Certainly.
to Make that happen. Is it?
We will.
The other one that could have been mentioned in Pam's committee is that the president and I have talked is, I don't have the number in my mind, maybe it's 6, maybe it's 10 lists, publication lists or media lists where they rank universities. We're on the Princeton, we're on several good ones, but let's pick out, I'd like to ask Mark or President, let's pick out 8 lists, 6 that we're not on, that we'd like to be on that one and kind of teach to the test. You know what I mean? Try to do the things it takes to be included on those lists just for bragging power. Are you going to go over our meeting yesterday?
Of course.
Now, I'll touch on it. Now might be
Be a good time to do that.
now might be the time because this is going to run short. I think just what Pam said is we didn't realize, did anybody realize there was 22 graduations here? Or there's 1 million people come on our campus every year when you add the agricultural events. That's assuming there's no seminars or no conferences. We discovered, in preparing for our road show for the city, with the city, we discovered things about ourselves that we don't know. So like a business, our goal, Sydney and I are lockstep on 98%, and this in particular is that we prepare a road show just like Bridgestone would, and Nashville Chamber of Commerce, Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce, city, county. We don't want to make it where it's drudgery, but 4 or 5 road shows a year saying how good we are. And our payroll is unbelievable. Hotel rooms, tax, et cetera. So yesterday, I think, was, the fun thing about it was we asked for 90 minutes. We cut it off at 2 hours. And the fun thing is there's so many good things to talk about. We're going to have to go through and cut about half the things we talk about because we can't get it all in a 2-hour period. There's so many good things happening. So we did have our first road show, and I think it was A or A minus, B plus, good. Looking forward that we do this on a regular basis and take the basket off the light. That's my biblical for the week. But we got to beat our own chest, and because we're so much bigger than we think we're. Our budget is larger than the city of Murfreesboro. And you think about Shelbyville or Tullahoma, one of those, our budget probably 3 times there. If you take their school system out, our budget is close to twice. So we're doing a lot of good, not all good, we got problems, but we're doing a lot of good stuff. And Sydney put together a great dog and pony show. and they were kind of our guinea pig. The next one will be better, and the next one will be better, and I'm really pleased that that's one of the few business-like things we can do that are, that.
Chairman Smith, is that something also that can be refined? I know that we meet regularly with the legislators, the
Absolutely.
leaders, and the governor's office, but, you know, a format like that, I think, could be very impressive for that audience, and they hold a lot of weight in terms of where we can get support. But that would be,
Yeah.
I'd love to see the presentation. Is that something you can share with the board?
Yes, we did put together a PowerPoint. We made copies of it for members of City Council. And it was important for us, with several new members of the City Council, to be able to put the facts out there. Because a lot of times there are certain narratives that don't really match up with the facts of the university. And so we did that, and we'll be happy to send to each of you a copy of the printed PowerPoint that was put together. And a number of the new city council members came up to me afterwards and expressed their great appreciation for hearing the facts and seeing the impact that the university is having in this community. We do a mini form of that, Alan, when I present to the Budget Committee and for both the Senate and the House. But that's restricted in terms of time. But we try to get the major points across during those budget hearings that's coming up very shortly in the next month or so. But I think the chairman is right that it's a good thing to do on a regular basis with certain groups within the community, whether it's, the various, Kiwanis Club, Rotary Club, et cetera. And some of the regional areas like Wilson County, Smyrna, those areas that the university has a significant impact. We put out 4,000 to 5,000 graduates a year. And when you speak to the chairperson, the president of the Nashville Chamber, they did a study. Well, you know that because we were both on the board together, Trustee Kubowiak. We put out more graduates for that region than any university. In fact, Ralph Schultz has agreed to be our graduation speaker coming up in December. And so, the chairman is right. We really don't kind of blow our horn and beat our chest as we should, because when you don't, then that vacuum is filled by somebody else. And I thought yesterday was very, very good and helpful in letting the council members hear directly from the university, and we dealt with the facts. Not people's feelings, innuendos, but what the facts are with regards to the university. So that went well, I think.
On your point, Chris, I'm hoping that maybe after our board meeting in December, we'd have a work session. You don't want 2 hours of it, but it'll help us refine, because we got to refine it. Chris didn't get to say much about lots of it. Alan didn't get to say a lot of stuff on his sheet because you have to have, we were there, like I say, 2 hours. But maybe if it doesn't offend anybody, after our board meeting, we have a work session. Can't do it before, on a personal matter. I know I have an obligation. I'm going to barely get here on time. But afterwards, we try to pare it down to 30 minutes and
Impossible.
have a work session. But anyway, we're heading in the right direction of doing like every public company. We're a public company owned by the taxpayers. And every public company, at least, did y'all do it quarterly or once a year or how?
Investor relations meetings would depend, but it would always be at least once a year. And then depending on whether or not there was a topic that was out there, you'd hit up the particular focus points. But yeah, you got to do it at least once a year.
Well, it's just something we take for granted, and so we're taking for granted. But anyway,
We'll make the preparation for it, and we'll hold off on giving you the pre-information so that we keep your attention when we do it after the board meeting.
all right, for no further questions, Tom?
Are we going to audit next or finance
I'm next.
personnel?
We got finance and personnel. Pete?
Yes, sir.